What's good? How y'all doing this evening?
Welcome everybody to the FILA Sports Podcast. It's Wednesday night. It's Rivalry Week. Y'all know what time it is. We're talking college football. It's your boy Coach Mario and the man known as the Don. What's going on?
What's good? How y'all doing this evening? Glad y'all can join us this Wednesday evening. Y'all already know what week it is. It's Florida versus Georgia, Georgia versus Florida, whatever way you want to put it, whatever spin you want to put it on. Don't look at me like that, man. You know.
I was gonna say, why would you see it that way though? You know, I'm like, hold on, what side you on?
Hey,
like, it's Georgia, Florida.
We got a guest on. We have a guest on, so you know, we gotta be, you know, we gotta hump.
He might say it's Florida Georgia week, but we're saying it's
that's
Georgia,
the right way to say it. That's the right way to say it. Yeah.
I mean, can you alphabetize?
They technically, I believe, in Jacksonville, they switch it around every year.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But there's only one way to say it. You guys know that too.
Yeah. I mean, only because F comes before G in the alphabet.
There we go.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it too. All right. So glad y'all can join us once again. Glad y'all can join us. If you're new to the channel, you already know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this content out with other Georgia college sports fanatics, and hit us up in the comment section. As always,
I'm Holla
at your hometown sports podcast. All right, we have a special guest on with us today. Nick Knudsen, how you doing, man?
Hey, how you guys doing? It's Nick Knudsen. I'm a writer for Hail Florida Hail on the Fan-Sided Network.
All right. Like how your camera's frozen. I'm gonna fix it here in a minute.
Frozen?
I we'll take care of that though.
Okay.
It's frozen right on those degrees in the background, though. I think he did that on purpose. He ain't slick. I peeked that out.
Hey, I got degrees too, so
I do too. I don't know where they at though. I can't even lie. I really don't know where it's at. But anyway. All right. Tell them where they can find you at on Twitter.
Yeah, at Nick Knudsen, KNUDSEN, FB at Nick Knudsen FB on Twitter.
Knudsen. I see. I always butcher people's names. Man.
Don't worry about it, man. It happens all the time. I'm used to it.
And the reason I say that because we do have some of our followers are Florida fans, so we do have some Florida fans in the chat as well who might.
He already trolling.
Oh yeah, Frank been trolling. Yeah, and we have some Georgia fans in the chat that be sure to block you as well. All right, but y'all know how we do. You already set everything up. Tell them where they can find us and everything.
All right, y'all already know where y'all can find us at. You can find us on Twitter at FILA_SP, Instagram FILA Sports Podcast, and on Facebook FILA Sports Podcast. We are also on Spotify and Google Play, so you can check us out on there. So.
All right, and we're going to run down weekend college football from the state real quick, and then we'll get to what you all tuned in for. Georgia Tech is coming off the bye. They'll be home versus Pittsburgh at 4 p.m. on CHSS, which we still hadn't figured out. But every time it says CHSS, it comes on that Fox Sports channel, so whatever. So we're 2-5 right now, so hopefully Tech can get another conference win, and we're playing at home. Georgia State last week, 52-33 over Troy. They have a bye this week. They're 6-2. Georgia State, they're hot right now. They are running the heck out of the football. Georgia State is averaging, I think, just about 300 yards on the ground. They are running the football, running over people. Got to just play a little tighter defense. Georgia Southern last week, 41-7 over New Mexico. Tomorrow they play App State on ESPN at 7:30. It is a huge game. If you guys don't know, casual college football fans, I'm telling you, tune in this tomorrow. It is a huge game. It is going to be dead crunk. I promise you. There's big implications on this game, especially for the group of 6 schools. Telling you, this is a huge game tomorrow. Kennesaw State 41-17 versus North Alabama last week. Saturday have Monmouth at home. Kennesaw State is 7-1. Monmouth is probably going to be their biggest test, though. Monmouth is a conference foe. They're looking to knock them off. Of course, Kennesaw State is undefeated. They're actually both undefeated in conference play. So tomorrow is for control of the conference. Saturday is for control of the conference. So it's actually a big game for Kennesaw State. They've been having a bunch of cupcakes, so they get a test finally. Valdosta State won 20-15 over North Greenville, and we talked about it last week. I checked. That's 23 straight victories for Valdosta State, even though nobody expected them to struggle like that against North Greenville. Hopefully we get it fixed. I think they had some weather in that game. We know Valdosta State want to throw the ball all over the field. They are actually coming up with the bye Saturday, so hopefully they can get healthy. Morehouse had homecoming. They got the win 34-13 versus Benedict College. Saturday they go to Albany State. That's going to be 2 p.m. Ooh, yeah. Clark Atlanta still over. Hadn't got a win yet. 27-34 versus Fort Valley last week. And they get Benedict College at 2 p.m. I mean, Morehouse and Clark's schedule always just mirror each other.
All right, hold on. Sorry. Hey, guys in the chat, let me know how the sound is. Do y'all hear echo now? I know it was an echo earlier. Do y'all hear echo? Let me know so I can make the changes. You can go ahead, Coach.
Okay, and that brings us to the topic of the night. We know that both teams are coming off a bye, Georgia and Florida. They get it on 3:30 at the world's biggest outdoor cocktail party. I'm sorry, that's what I'm still calling it. 3:30 Saturday CBS game. And like I said, let's talk about it. So, one thing that we were just talking about before you guys came on, that people say that they want the college football playoffs expanded in college. Well, essentially, playoffs really are expanded, and Saturday is a quarterfinal game. Whoever wins this game is going to more than likely represent the East in the SEC championship game. What do you guys think about that?
All right, starting with you, Nick.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is really it's a 3-team race, if you even want to call it that, in the East right now. You're looking at Georgia, Florida, and Missouri having an outside shot, even though what's going on with their postseason ban is a little bit confusing, but I looked into that. But let's be realistic. It's Florida, it's Georgia. That's what it's going to be. I mean, after this, Georgia's playing Missouri at Auburn versus A&M in SEC play, and Florida wraps up with Vandy and at Mizzou in SEC play after this. And I really think the winner of this game is going to carry their momentum and finish strong this year.
All right. Well, here's my thing. If Georgia scores first, we win the game. I'm not now. This is an early prediction. This is and a friend pointed this out to me earlier and it is true. We noticed this every time Georgia scores first in the Georgia-Florida game. We normally win that game. I don't know if you noticed that, Coach.
I didn't. I had to go back and do a little research.
Yeah. All right, but yes, I'm hoping for Georgia to really knock off Florida. In case everybody don't see what I got on today, I got on my Michigan shirt, and I know Florida. Yeah, they put a beating on my Wolverines in the Peach Bowl. I paid good money. I paid $300 to see my team get beat like that, man. Yeah, Florida. I'm not trying to troll anything, but yeah, I'm just hoping the Bulldogs can pull it off. So, and once they win, hey, they represent the East in the SEC championship game. It's just that simple.
Yeah. Nick, what do you think about the winner of the East being able to challenge the whomever is going to come out of the West this year? Because go ahead.
Well, first off, Don, you got a Michigan shirt on too. You're just lucky I can't see that shirt right now. So
he's a Michigan fan.
Well, Michigan with
notice I just completely
I'm from Columbus, Ohio. My mother went to Ohio State.
Lord.
I grew up a Buckeye fan before I moved down to Florida. So we could really get along on stuff. And actually, my voice is a little hoarse right now. This weekend, I went to Ohio State, Wisconsin at noon, and we drove up to Ann Arbor.
Yeah, I remember you told me that.
Kick. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, so we hit both those games this weekend. First trip to the big house. It was pretty cool. Lots of rain though.
Man, I need to go there, man. That's one of my bucket lists. I have to go. So
yeah, very good. Sorry, sidetrack on
you
that.
Good. So, I promise you gonna hear more. You gonna hear more Stevenson than Michigan anyway. So
see, I wasn't even going, but now I'm gonna work one in. I wasn't even gonna do it because Stevenson High School actually has 2 guys who committed to Florida for the 2021 class. But I wasn't gonna bring it up, Don. But anyway,
yeah.
All right.
Well, so for out of the West, and so I really think I'm a believer in this LSU team, and I think the Tua injury is going to make a big difference in that game. Even if he plays, Florida's actually got a guy or key D lineman, John Grenard, transferred from Louisville, who missed the LSU game with a high ankle sprain. He's still dealing with that. I'm not sure what type of impact he'll be able to have, but Tua might have a little bit more of a different, experience with the high ankle sprain. Maybe they can protect him a little more than, whereas a defensive lineman, you need more power and push off those legs. Like they might be able to do some things to protect Tua, but I think LSU's got a great shot into going into Tuscaloosa and taking advantage of that injury and getting the win. And maybe the loser of that game sneaking back in the playoff for the final spot if a few things go their way.
I am so hard-headed. I cannot buy into Joe Burrow. I can't. I mean, I can't. I just can't. I can't. I don't know what it is. Yes, he keeps doing it week after week. I've seen everything, but I don't know. Oh man, I'm still having just a hard time. Yeah, I see him every week. He's consistent, but that moment's coming. Of course, every quarterback's gonna have it, So I'm being unfair, but it's just something about it. All right, let me go in the chat real quick and acknowledge the people we have checking in. We already said what's going on to Frank. How you doing, Frank? Jessica Hanna is joining. Thanks for joining. She says going to enjoy listening with BP football talk on the drive home. Eric checking in. He said go Dogs. And he also said it's Georgia versus Florida. Why would you ever say it the other way around? That Georgia boy is joining us. He said UGA better be ready for this game, and Frank called us choke you. And that Georgia boy, we already talked about that old school Tampa Bay helmet in the background. Tabitha joined us. How you doing, good. Tabitha? She said, "Hey fellas, go dog." Yeah, Frank, we know Tech has gotten a more recent natty than UGA.
Hey, and shouts out to BP football too, by the way. So, yeah.
And Eric said Florida has one of the best defenses in the nation, and Georgia offense is struggling. Yeah, we're gonna touch on that in a second. And Eric says, "What's wrong with Georgia's offense? Predictable play calling, too much 21 personnel, done using the play action, too much use of inside zone, not enough use of outside zone." And Florida's getting Zuniga and Grenard back today, yeah, with Tony. Yeah, they all practiced this week, Frank. And Eric also said, if it's not fixed with these 2 weeks to work on it, Georgia could be in for a long game Saturday. And with Georgia, yes, Tyson Campbell, Trayvon Walker, Cager, and Robertson all practice and all cleared for Saturday. So it looks like all the guys who've been out for both teams will be back. And Eric said, you spelled Stevenson wrong, Eric. Eric said Stevenson, never heard of her, but McKeitchen is 8-0. I mean, like I said, my kids go to Stevenson and I represent Stevenson now, but I went to Southwest DeKalb, Eric, and I never lost to McKeitchen. Matter of fact, I blew McKeitchen out twice, and my brother blew McKeitchen out as well. So, but anyway, back to UGA. That was pretty funny, though, Eric. You threw me off with that one, Eric. All right, so Nick, Kyle Trask is Do Florida fans really believe in Kyle Trask, or is he the hot guy right now? And is he ready to announce himself to the world? Is this guy for real? Is this guy for real, or is he just please Trask, or do they really believe in?
I was about to say some nice things about Kyle Trask, but if you're not about Joe Burrow, I think this is gonna be a tough sell for you. I'm not sure what I can sell you if you're not thinking Joe Burrow's playing great right now, but Trask,
he's playing great. It's just that I think it's gimmicky or something. I don't trust. It's something about him I don't trust. I don't know, but I don't know.
Maybe you're right. Yeah. But I think Burrow is playing probably some of the best football in the country right now. But Trask stepped in and has just been such a pleasant surprise. I mean, it's not like I don't know if you guys have been following Florida football too much in the last decade, but we haven't exactly had a high standard for quarterback play in the last decade. Here, it's just been pretty bleak at the quarterback position. Before we had Spurrier in the Meyer era, we had some great quarterback play, obviously, but the last decade's been rough. So seeing Trask come in and really take command of the offense as early as he has been just a great surprise, and we've very much enjoyed it. Sucks that Franks got injured, obviously, but Trask, he seems to kind of just have a little more of a presence in the pocket than Franks did, in my opinion. He'll stick in there almost to his detriment, and he'll take big hits, and not that Frank shied away from it, but Trask is almost sometimes oblivious of the pressure at times, which is a good and a bad thing, because he'll make a few mistakes a game. Georgia's going to have their opportunities. He's going to give you a few chances. You saw that at LSU. LSU took advantage, jumped on a couple critical situations, and that's the only downside of Trask right now.
I actually would rather see Felipe. Felipe is gonna make that bonehead play. Mm-hmm. You can guarantee. So I was actually like, yes, we playing Florida. Felipe's at quarterback. Like, I got to be honest. Like, I think Felipe held the team back. So if I was a Florida fan, I'd much rather have Trask if I was a Florida fan. Like I said, I always thought Felipe is going to make that boneheaded play, trying to do too much. He's going to always try to do too much and just make that boneheaded play. So, well, what do you think, Don?
Man, look, man. I don't think Trask he's good, but I really feel like if Kirby Smart, man, if he go do a good job on his defense, man, we just got to blitz the crap out of the Florida, man. Get him off of a rhythm. Hey, it's over.
Now, see, this is what I think the key to the game is. Florida doesn't run the ball exceptionally well, and we know that Kirby normally in the second half. One thing about defensively, he is great at second half adjustments, and you normally see quarterbacks not play as well in the second half when you play Georgia as they do in the second half. They don't play as well in the second half as they do in the first half. Georgia's got to score.
Yeah.
Georgia's got to.
They got to score, and they got to score early, and on top of that, they got to keep putting keep the foot on their throats. They can't just let off and ease off in the second quarter like they normally do, and then let them come back up and then say, "Oh, we gotta do something." And then by that time, you gave the other team all the momentum to win the game. You can't do that.
How do you guys feel about the way this year, where it just feels like they're kind of just trying to win on talent alone? They're not doing anything that special. It really reminds me of the early days of Nick Saban at Alabama, where they're just not doing anything special on offense, trust the running game, trust the defense to get out of there, but maybe they're not quite at that Alabama level, where they were at that point. What do you guys think about that?
But here's the thing. Here's my take on that. Like, you can't put the game in. I just don't trust Jake Fromm. You can't put the game all in his hands. Georgia's always been running back RBU. That's just my opinion, man. That's my opinion. Did we try to do that? Look, in the South Carolina game, we tried to put the game in Jake Fromm. What happened to that game? What happened in that game?
I don't necessarily think we put the game in Jake's hands, but go ahead. Yeah, Jake did make some mistakes.
Okay,
he made
all
some
right.
reads in that game. Every quarterback does.
I proved my point.
You said a game. He started like 30 games.
But you gotta think about it. And I'm not look, this ain't a knock on Fromm. This not a knock on Fromm at all. But you gotta think about it. We are a run first team. We gotta run the ball. We can't just solely Jake Fromm just go out there and get us 300 or 400 yards. Like that ain't finna happen, man.
Well, do you think it's fair to Fromm that he's asked to constantly like play game manager, and then all of a sudden, like in the South Carolina game, it's like, oh well, actually we need you to throw a lot, and that's not really his rhythm.
Yeah,
like is that really fair to Fromm?
No, I don't think it is. But Kirby is going to run the ball. It's going to be 60-40. Kirby's told us that we're going to be 60-40. I don't care.
I think it is. I think in this game we should be 70-30. Like you got to respect Florida's defensive line. I'm sorry. Like,
well, this is the difference, and I want to go back when you like referencing what Alabama did earlier in the 2000s. Kirby's tried to recreate that, but this is the difference. Alabama went out and got the biggest O-lineman. What does Kirby do? He went and got the biggest O-lineman, and we're just gonna pound the ball. But the difference is Alabama had big. They were big and more talented. Our O-line is huge. They aren't as talented as those. So we touted them up that they were. They're not. They have awesome size. A couple of them do, but they have awesome size. So we're trying to recreate what Alabama did, but it's not working out like that. So our O-line is huge, but they just aren't road graders like that. And then we were on to run the ball. Alabama was creative in their running game as well. Ours isn't creative as well. It's not creative. And we have a superstar tailback in the backfield, and we never give them lead block. We never run counters. We never run misdirections. It's just inside zone. So it's not
in our resident Georgia reporter. He also works for the Georgia Sports Hospitality Media. We affiliated with them as well. He just said that when they stopped the run, when the opponent stopped the run on us, and then they forced Fromm to have to win the game, he's 0-5.
Yeah.
So
you gotta have a
exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I think Fromm's not asked to do that much, so it's like it's tough to expect that from him. I watched that Ohio State Wisconsin game this weekend, and you saw Justin Fields. I don't know if I should bring him up around you guys. Are you guys okay hearing that name?
Look! I don't want to hear that. I want to hear nothing about no Ohio State.
I don't have a problem with Justin Fields. We knew Justin Fields was good. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we didn't know he was good. We knew he was good. Yeah.
It's got to be kind of tough watching him just kill it this year. Like he's playing great.
I already knew this was gonna happen. I already knew. Like I never bought into he won't be starting. Yeah, right. I've seen that kid play. Boy, stop.
But that's what you look at it, and it's like clearly Kirby's committed to his brand of football, because why not? I mean, you even look at Saban changed. Saban opened up his offense when they had a guy that had the talent to run that type of offense with Tua. He changed his style. Why not? And Kirby doesn't want to do that.
I really think he was.
And it's weird.
Really think he was. He just wanted Justin to wait his turn. I really think he was. I think he just wanted Justin to wait his turn. I really think he did. But I understand Justin. Like, no, I'm not waiting. I'm ready now.
And it's weird that you said that about Nick Saban and their offense now, because it's very funny that they got Steve Sarkisian there, and Atlanta. We feel.
But he started this last year. Nick started last year letting them open up the offense.
When Kiffin came in, this is when they brought Kiffin in. They opened it up big time on that. But it's like that's a guy who even Saban's adjusting. Like it's not because he needed to. It's just because he's just getting. That's kind of what you're getting out of high school too. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with Fromm. I honestly don't fault Georgia too much for that decision to stick with Fromm and the way the transfer portal works today. It's great. But the point I was going to make about Justin Fields was that first quarter and a half of that Ohio State-Wisconsin game, Ohio State kind of ran their offense a little bit, and they're kind of trying to do a lot of running game. They're trying. J.K. Dobbins, the running back, ended up having a great game, but it took some time to develop, and the receivers were dropping balls. The running game was getting crunched. So Fields took the game into his hand. He started running the ball a little bit, and that kind of started to open up the running game. It started to open up the pass. They had that plan B, So Jake Fromm, it's okay to criticize him, but on the other hand, when you're not asked to do that plan B very often, and then the 5 times in your entire career that you've had to, it doesn't work out. I don't think that's a fair stat to hold against him, because he only does that really when they need him to.
Yeah.
I absolutely love Jake Fromm, so you will never hear any Jake Fromm slander from me, because what I say. One of the things what Jake Fromm does the best, and his coaches have told you for years, his best skill is getting us in the right play, and that skill right there is just unless you've ever coached, unless you've ever, you'll never understand that. Just when you're on the sideline going crazy, no, and you have a guy that he gets you into the correct play, that. Like I said, that skill right there is going to take him a long way. It's going to take him a long way.
But he's going to have to in the next level. He's going to have to be paired in the right system. All right, if he go to a team like the Lions or something like that, he's going to be dead in the water. But if he go to a team like, say for instance, the Saints, draft him like a guy like Sean Payton, or he even go to New England or something like that, he can flourish in those systems. So.
But you can say that about any quarterback.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can say it about any quarterback. They need to go somewhere they're going to put a system.
But you think so? Hold on. So you think he can thrive in the Dirk Carter system? I don't think so. He's not finna air it out. What 67% of the game? Come on now.
Kind of like in the Andy Dalton vibe for me. With Fromm, where I think he could be a good starter for a lot of years, but maybe might never be that
break
elite
that ceiling.
Guy.
Exactly. Yeah. Probably won't break the ceiling. But unless he go with the offensive minded guru.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go in the chat after this question, Nick. Nick. So do you think Burrow will be a better pro than Fromm?
That's a good question. Right now, I'm Team Burrow on that one. I'd go with Joe Burrow right now. I think you're seeing, they brought in Joe Brady from the Saints down in LSU this year, and I think he probably gave him a lot of sets and everything, a lot of schemes that he can see at the next level. And obviously, I don't think he'll air it out quite to the extent he does at LSU at the next level, but I think he's proved himself capable. And I like Burrow. You talk about a smart quarterback, and he's got a little mobility to him. I really like the guy. He's coach's son, so I think he'll get an opportunity at least. I think he'll be a pretty high draft pick here in this next draft. So I think he'll have an opportunity to start at somewhere. That's not a bold prediction, but I definitely do like Burrow. I would buy Burrow stock over Fromm at the next level. Yes.
That sound like a bias. That sound like a bias Florida take right there, man.
Jake Fromm.
You just hear me defending Jake Fromm against the Don, and now
I'm messing with you, man. I'm messing with you.
All right, I'm going in the chat. I'm going in the chat, but y'all hear me now. Jake Fromm is the next Matt Ryan.
Bro, I'm about to end this stream. I'm about to end this stream, man. You tripping?
Okay, just letting you know. I-20 Eric said he'd take Trask over Franks as well, and he's a Georgia fan. Yeah. So, that Georgia boy said Stevenson High School had some good players go to college. The Ball brothers. Lumpkin had a nice career in the NFL as a running back. Reggie Ball and Calvin Johnson at Georgia Tech was fire. Their dad is still the strength and conditioning coordinator for Stevenson. Coach Ball. Coach Ball is the reason that, that Georgia boy you left out of probably about 15 other NFL guys too. I don't have time to name them all, but Coach Ball is the man. Love Coach Gartrell over there, but Coach Ball is crazy too. Crazy. Anyway, love him though, but he crazy. I-20 Eric said Georgia's defense is going to be lights out. To me, the key to the game is Georgia's offense versus Florida's defense. And he said Fromm is like, you already read that stat. That Georgia boy was saying Georgia. He said, "Who is we, Michigan man?" Yeah, Don, you over there talking about we, claiming the maize and blue with the winged helmets, but now it's we. Yeah,
hey, don't.
Thou shalt not.
Hey, y'all, don't start with this tonight, y'all. Do not start with this tonight.
Eric said teams are loading the box and then playing press man Darren From to beat them. Yep. And I believe he can. We just need to let him. And a lot has been made of that as our receivers not getting off the press coverage as well too. That would be something we would have to really go back and look at film to see. Is it not creating separation? Is it whatever? But that's been brought up there a couple times that the receivers aren't getting enough separation. But we have Cager and Robertson back Saturday, so hopefully that'll be better. That Georgia boy says Florida D-line and their cornerbacks are going to be tough always. Man, Florida keeps – defensive players play, period. But, yeah, Florida's going to always have good DBs and good D linemen.
It's huge getting Zuniga and Grenard back, too.
Yeah. Zuniga's a monster. He's scared.
Yeah. We really missed them against LSU, though. We didn't have Zuniga the whole game, or a lot of the game, and Grenard played one play in that game. But those guys have been tearing it up, throughout the season. But they haven't played much with each other. They've been injured on and
off. Eric said Georgia's O-line is 110th in the nation when it comes to converting third or fourth down with 2 or less yards to go for a first down. Yeah, Eric. These guys. They came in at 4 and 5 stars, but people have to realize star ranking is a lot of based off size too. It's not always skill; it's projection. A guy who's a 4-star doesn't mean he's an awesome player. No, it means that right now he projects to be a good player on the college level based on his size, speed, and athleticism. Doesn't mean he is an awesome player. Frank said UGA thinks they can line up and be predictable and make things happen due to having more talent. Yep. It is what they think, Frank, and it's not working out like that. And Tabitha agreed with it as well. And that Georgia boy said, yeah, Fields did take a beating last game. He came up hobbling a couple times too, but he's a tough kid.
Mm-hmm.
And J.K. Dobbins does not get enough credit for what OSU is doing. I feel a lot of the credit is going to Fields because he's the prospect. Yeah, J.K. Dobbins is rushing for close to when it's 770-something yards a game he's rushing for.
He's a beast. He is a beast. Tough to bring down. He's quick.
Eric, how dare? Eric said Burrow is a better prospect than Fromm. I'm blocking you, Eric. Thomas Boyd,
he said,
I don't know if I made a mistake.
I got it.
Yeah.
He said, Dunn is the man, would be better. He said, I'll be a better man, not pulling for Michigan. Okay.
I agree.
Look, y'all gonna start talking about my Wolverines now.
Yeah, and Zuniga is someone who's be intriguing to come play for the Falcons. I agree, Eric. JF joined us. What's going on, JF? JF said a lack of confidence in from being that the man is from Georgia this year. Hopefully he's wrong, but he's pissing me off. Hey, you know what? Come 7:08 p.m. Saturday. Dang, I can't say that because my prediction not gonna match what I'm gonna say. But Fromm is gonna make you a believer. But I guess that doesn't match my prediction, which we'll get to in a second. All right, so Nick, let me ask you. We all know the news came out this week that we'll be renewing the contract with Jacksonville, both schools playing in Jacksonville. How do you think that affects the series? And what are your personal feelings about playing the game in Jacksonville? Campus?
Well, again, I might be a little biased about this one because I'm originally from Jacksonville, Florida. Grew up going to that stadium for Jaguar games, everything else, but never actually went to my first Florida-Georgia game until I was in school at Florida. And the atmosphere, the environment at that game is second to none. I've been to big-time rivalry games. I've been to bowl games. I made a trip to the national title when Florida went. NFL playoffs, different rounds. I worked the Super Bowl when it was in Jacksonville one year. I got to work it in the one of the, so I've been in the stadium for that. There is nothing like Florida, Georgia in Jacksonville. It's incredible. It's literally half the stadium's going nuts on every play. And I remember in 2008 when we got that revenge game for the old bench clearing in 07. That game, watching that stadium clear out, in the end of the fourth quarter, a year after, losing to Georgia, that was one of my favorite memories of a Florida Georgia game. Just very satisfying for an entire quarter, watching the stadium just empty out. So it's a great environment. Have you guys been to the game down there?
I actually have never been to a Georgia Florida game. That is one game.
Have you been to a Florida Georgia game?
Good, yeah, on NCAA. And
coming back.
Yeah, I know.
Right? I think I've been to the one in 2000. Was it 2001? 2000. One of them. I was in middle school around that time. I'm trying to remember. I think it was 2000.
That was the one game.
I think it was in 2000. Had to been 2000 because that was when Doug Johnson was still playing for him.
Yeah,
it hurts my heart because we actually discussed this a couple weeks ago when we was previewing Georgia Tech and Miami. Nick, we were previewing Georgia Tech and Miami, and I was saying when I was a kid, there was no game. Even though I'm a Bulldogs fan, there was no game like Florida State Miami. It was the game, and isn't that Saturday?
Yeah,
it hurts my heart. It doesn't even matter anymore.
Too sad. One of them's going to make a bowl. Yeah. I mean, if the winner's looking real good for a bowl, so we could pat him on the back for that, right?
But when I was a kid, that was the mid-season national championship.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? That was the game.
All right, but back to the question about, and this is my take on it. I don't like the game in Jacksonville. That's just my opinion. Because just be honest. They say, well, Jacksonville is a neutral site. No, it's not. Because it's in Florida.
I agree.
It's in Florida. I see if it was in Alabama. Okay, yeah, neutral site. Because Alabama, neither team has any ties to that state. But the game is in Florida. Like, Jacksonville is not that far from Gainesville. I want to say it's 2.5 hour drive or something like that.
Yeah, from Gainesville.
Hour and a half. Yeah, come on now. That's not a neutral site. That's not a neutral site. Yeah, you gonna have Georgia fans just gonna drive. Yeah, and Jacksonville is not that far from the Georgia-Florida border. Yes, that's true because the people want to make that argument. But I feel like the game should rotate. Games between Athens and Gainesville. Athens and Gainesville. Either Athens or Gainesville, or you want to still keep having the game in Jacksonville, cool. Okay, next year, have it at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta.
South Georgia has more Florida State fans than Georgia fans, actually. When you really talk about it, South Georgia, they support Florida State.
No. It's Georgia fans. Man, ain't nothing but Georgia fans down here. Ain't nothing but Georgia fans.
See, I'm sorry. You're on the coast, southeast, but I'm telling you, go over to the southwest. You go over to more the Valdosta.
You got to realize
it's way more Florida State fans
than
Georgia fans.
You got to realize why they call me the Don. All right, I just don't sit in my house and just do nothing. I travel. Okay, so like I'm telling you, it's Georgia. It's Georgia and Bama fans down here. That's pretty much what it is. You barely see any Tech fans. And you got Georgia, you got some diehard. You have a lot of diehard Georgia Southern fans here. And then you got Miami, you got Florida. You got Miami a little Florida State fans, and a little Florida fans.
Somebody in the chat who lived in the Waycross, Tifton, Valdosta, any of those coffee area. Somebody let Don know what's up. Who? Man,
you stayed there, Stevenson. How you gonna tell me? I've been out here for a good minute.
Where are you from?
Okay.
We grew up 10 minutes from each other. What are you talking about?
But I've been staying out here for a good minute though. So I know what I'm talking about. You come down here, you go see all these trucks and stuff with Georgia Bulldog stuff on them, man.
Wisdom on you.
Hey, there's some Jacksonville has its fair share of Georgia fans too. That's not Georgia. It's not unheard of to see Georgia. I mean, I went to school with plenty of people who are Georgia fans. I was outside of Florida and Florida State. That was the most common fan base. Knew a lot more Georgia fans. I knew Miami fans, like back in the day. But actually, a little history on that. One of the reasons why the game moved to Jacksonville, it was moved there in 1933 because both sides could get there easily by train, and it's just kind of stuck. Like, it's been a good environment. The game sold out. It was during the Great Depression era, right? So other major games like Notre Dame and Southern Cal, they were losing up to 50% of their gate. So they decided to move it to Jacksonville and they kept selling the game out. It's a business decision, you know? So it's like, and I just think the neutral site, it is that when you go into the stadium, it doesn't matter what the demographics are outside of that stadium. It is the only neutral game I've been to. I've never been to OU Texas. I have a feeling it's very similar. The difference is you got to go to the crusty old Cotton Bowl, and you don't get to go to the state of the art like facility like they have in Jacksonville now, where they're pumping all kinds of money in it. The scoreboards are incredible. Shad Khan's doing a lot of things with the Jags down there, but like Georgia's kind of crying a little bit. Like Smart kind of made up, he's going after it. He's saying, we're not getting our chance to get that's an extra home game we're giving up, with recruits and everything. He's making that story. Kirby's just doing his job. He's just trying to get more money for the school. That new contract they announced, if you go look up those details, I mean, I think the school's payouts are going from about $500,000-$600,000 to about $1 million. They're going to bump to 1.25, I think. Yes. But Georgia, if they're so opposed to neutral site games, in 2020 they got a game coming up at Mercedes-Benz to kick off the year with Virginia, I believe. 2022 they're playing in Atlanta again against Oregon. In 2024 they're playing in Atlanta again against Clemson. Those are all recruiting opportunities if they really cared about home and homes.
Well, it's about their money, though. Hosting.
It's about
hosting recruits. These neutral site games you can't host.
Right, except for the fact I would listen to that argument if they weren't. Since Kirby took over, I think I went off Rivals on this. I put these numbers together a while ago, so excuse me if I'm wrong on that, but I think I went off Rivals on this. But Georgia was 9th overall in the nation recruiting in 16. In 17, they were 3rd. And then the last 2 years, they've been 1st in the nation. So
we got to keep that up, though.
It's not holding them back on the recruiting side. That's all I'm saying on that.
Yeah, you're right. And that's a good argument.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna read through the chat real quick, and then we're gonna come back and give our predictions on the game. So you guys in the chat, you can go ahead and give your predictions as well. I'm gonna read the last few comments. Yeah, Frank, he said, here go Mario with the time prediction. I'm about to give you my prediction, Frank. It's coming up in a second. JF said, I hope he will, coach. I want him to be great, but I'm seeing a lot of throws he has to make and isn't. He was going back to Fromm. And Eric said, he says we should rotate Athens, Gainesville, Atlanta, and Jacksonville every 4 years. He will never go to Jacksonville to see that game. Never going to be close.
You missed out.
And he said Sanford is too beautiful to go to Jacksonville to catch that game. And he also lives in Northwest Atlanta, so he played in Georgia all the time. He lives not too far from, And that Georgia boy said Gainesville to Jacksonville, say an hour and 17 minutes. From Athens to Jacksonville is 5 hours and 30 minutes.
That's not a neutral site. It's not like playing it probably at Savannah State. Or even Savannah State will probably be more, or Valdosta State probably be more of a neutral site than Jacksonville because of the drive time. But I know you're not going to have Florida and Georgia at Valdosta State or Savannah State because the capacity won't hold. So,
well, like I said, we'll go ahead and start predictions. I'll start with Nick. We always let our guests go last. I'm going to admit that I'm not feeling real good this week. What's funny is interesting. We didn't say this, but I-20 Eric and I were talking early, probably 6 a.m. the morning of South Carolina and Georgia, and I told him that morning. I said, Eric, man, something don't feel right today. Something don't feel right, and I've been having it, man. I'm just gonna be quiet, man. I got Florida 23-16, man.
You got what?
I got Florida 23-16.
23-16? Okay.
Yep, I got Florida. Yeah.
All right.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Frank, go ahead, Frank. I'm gonna deny it on Twitter that I ever said it, Frank. What you got done?
I'm not gonna make a score prediction for this game, but I will say this though. Like I said earlier, if Georgia scores first, they'll win. If Florida scores first, we lose. It's that simple. We have to run the ball. If we do not run the ball, if we don't run the ball effectively, we're gonna lose. Georgia's gonna lose. Let me stop saying we, because everybody's getting in their little fitness. Who's we? You Michigan? Okay, if Georgia doesn't run the ball, all right, then they're gonna end up losing. You cannot just put the game in Jake Fromm's hands and have him throw, because I'm telling you that Florida's defensive line will generate pressure and throw him off, and I'm telling you, he's gonna turn the ball over. All right, and that's another thing. Whoever has the most turnovers is gonna win the game too. So all those factor in, you guys. So like I said, I'm not trying to make a prediction. I'm just trying to state facts, and I'm going off history because I looked at the game since 2002 all the way up to now. All right, so that's my prediction. Go ahead, Nick.
Well, I think you got to feel pretty good about Michigan beating Maryland this weekend. I think that's one thing you really got to be confident in your Wolverines this weekend with that one.
Look, man, I'm ready for Harbaugh. To be honest with you, I'm ready for Harbaugh to go, man. Because we ain't beating Ohio State.
Coach Durkin got him ready this week, Nick. I don't know.
Who? DJ ain't even coaching that no more.
Loxley.
He's not even that no more.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm tripping.
Yeah.
He working for the Falcons.
Yeah.
You know what happened with Durkin. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, they Florida, Georgia. This is going to be the best defense that Florida's faced to this point. So I'm definitely expecting a lower scoring game. I think our defense is going to step up, play a little better than it. I don't think the type of pressure that LSU was able to put on it, I don't think it's going to be the same pressure on the Florida defense. So I'm really expecting more of a low scoring game. I'm counting on Mullen's ability to adapt and adjust a little bit. Mullen, well, the thing we've seen from him that I've absolutely loved is he'll change a whole game plan at any point just to do whatever's working. Like, I mean, if we need to throw a bunch of screen passes, we'll throw a bunch of screen passes. If we need to throw it downfield, we'll throw it downfield. He goes with what's working. He adjusts. You know, we talked about Kirby Smart's stubbornness a little bit. However, I expect Georgia to come out and open it up a little bit too. I think we're going to see a little bit of difference from Georgia than we've seen in the early part of the season, maybe a little more aggressive, a little less conservative approach. But I really have confidence in the Florida passing game and an elite group of wide receivers. You know, Van Jefferson, Freddie Swain, those guys, they've been playing great all year. I'm going to say Florida 21, Georgia 17. And, Florida can come visit you guys in Atlanta in December.
All right. I'm gonna read the people's predictions.
I do not want Florida fans in Atlanta anymore. I remember after that Michigan game, like, yeah, I'm saying to myself, yeah, y'all looking, y'all look at. I'm a changed man. I'm a man of God because
I'm gonna read the predictions and we'll wrap up. And you guys, Toronto just went up 2-1.
Oh man!
Yeah.
Woo!
2-1. Yeah. So, Atlanta United got to score.
The match about to be over.
Yeah, that's what I said. They got to score quick. I-20 Eric says if Georgia comes out with a new offensive game plan, Georgia can win this game. He said they've done some different things in practice this week where the media is banned, so he's optimistic. JF said he has Florida 27-20 with crying faces. I know JF's a big Georgia fan too. I-20 Eric said Georgia 28, Florida 21, but I think I-20 Eric would say Georgia was going to win if we were playing the 85 Bears. So
and
that Georgia boy says he doesn't know about this game. Sarah, he said he's still messed up from South Carolina game. He's just going to say he wants UGA to win. That means you got a little fear in your heart too. That's how I'm feeling.
That's healthy.
Eric said Georgia needs to stop running inside zone. Trey Hill is not Lamont Gilliard. Exactly. Run outside zone, and Swift would destroy Florida like he did Kentucky. Frank said he has Florida 31 and the great University of Georgia 20. And JF said he thinks Florida will win because our OC hasn't been doing a good job killing the team with running these past few years, and Fromm isn't going to be able to will us to a win. And Melissa has 28-24 Georgia. All right, so but like I said, we're all expecting. Like I said, there's some great college football this weekend. Tomorrow, we did mention Florida State in Miami. You have Georgia and Florida. We have.
Are you saying there's great college football and then there's Florida State and Miami too?
Well, there's what's supposed to be great college football, right?
Yeah,
on Saturday.
That's on at 3:30 too. That's going head to head against Florida, Georgia.
I'm gonna record it because I'm gonna still watch it. I have a personal interest in the game, but yeah, I'm gonna still watch it.
You got some Stevenson kids there, probably.
Nope, not Stevenson, but some kid. Well, I mean, yeah, actually, but some kids.
I already know it got to be some Stevenson ties, man.
No, it's kids in the neighborhood, man. I'm sorry. I live in South DeKalb County. I live right on the border of South DeKalb, South Gwinnett. It is a wonderful park system around here. Some of these kids who are playing major college football, I'm sorry, I've known them since they were kids, and I still enjoy watching them. Some of these kids I coached or they spent the night at my house. Or
look, man, like I said, look, man, you got to support the kids, man. I'm just messing with you, man. Look at you. You getting your little feelings, man. You getting in your feelings.
It's like some of them kids, like I remember when he couldn't even tie his shoes, and now he's scoring touchdowns at major universities, but it's all good. All right. So, Nick, let them know again where they can find you at, where you can be blocked at.
Well, check us out at hailfloridahail.com. It's part of the Fansided Network, and I'm on Twitter at Nick Knudsen FB. That's Nick NICKKNUDSEN FB. Might want to look into changes in that Twitter handle, huh, guys? I gotta look into that.
Florida fans can't even spell their own names. Look, we know those degrees in the background of faith.
Props.
Props.
You just spelling the last name, yeah.
All right, what you got, Don?
All right, pretty much nothing. We'll be back Sunday, and we're gonna try to come at you guys at an earlier time that evening because there's nothing going on Sunday. We know the Falcons on the bye week, so we'll be talking about the Falcons. So yeah, it's right now my blood pressure up right now. I'm upset. United just pretty much let a great opportunity slip between their fingers. Yeah. It is what it is, man. Atlanta sports, man. It's just it's look, this is one thing that's gonna kill me. It's gonna kill me.
Slowly.
It's gonna kill me. So it is what it is. But hey, everybody in the chat, appreciate y'all coming in and listen to us this evening. Hey, we only got 3 lights. Hey, can y'all blow that like button up for us, please? We appreciate that. Also, if you're new to the channel, you already know what to do. Even y'all Florida fans, if you're new to the channel, y'all already know, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this content out with other Georgia college sports fanatics, and hit us up in the comment section. As always,
come holla
at your hometown sports podcast. Man, I'm about to go in the corner and cry somewhere, man, because I didn't expect United losing. Then Trey Young got hurt last night. Then the news of Falcons front office, man, I'm upset, man. Look,
first the Fat Boys break up. Now every day I wake up.
Man, look, man, y'all have a good evening. I'll see y'all Sunday. We'll see y'all Sunday. Peace. We out, man. Tell them boys, play time's up.